you need some quick and easy upcycles for Mother's Day, oh my gosh, I have the best, most beautiful ideas for you in today's video. Stay tuned and watch as I get to work. So Mondays, I usually plan out my videos and my social media content for the week. And today's no different, other than my hubby's off, but he's gone for some birthday fun with one of our kids. And I've been waiting very impatiently for my box. And I kind of need this because I'm really looking for some inspiration this week. I feel like, do you ever feel like you're creating the same thing over and over? I mean, I know I'm not, because I can look back on my content, or while I'm pricing my items, I can see that I'm not necessarily creating the same thing, but I feel like maybe I'm in a rut. So I'm hoping today's box will give me the inspiration I need to just blossom and pull out something spectacular, and I'm super excited about it. Here we go. Here's our little thank you card. And this is about a French luncheon table set with antique ironstone ready for tea. Oh my goodness. Well, this is exciting. Oh, wowzers. Okay, Roycycled. I have a feeling that this one is Victorian type here, old ironstone pots. This must be old ironstone chocolate pots. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we have this one. Oh, wow. I love the colors in these. They're bright and vibrant. I'm really digging these. These are really gorgeous. I love the florals. And then from Connie, we have some pussy willow branches on book pages. Oh, and more tulips. Oh, with the perfect little picture. I love that. Love that. We have a napkin with some, oh, that's beautiful. And then we've got some antique ironstone milk paint. I just used this not that long ago. It is a fabulous, gorgeous color. Love it. Then we have Cobblestone and Ash by Fusion. And then we've got Tarnished Pearl and Cowgirl Coral from DIY. Let's create. For project number one, I'm going to take an item that I got from our Flippin' Frenzy from Cindy, and I'm going to start by taking off these, the handle was broken on it. So I'm going to remove those, and while I'm doing that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm the owner here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled, vintage home decor and furniture, as well as carry all of your DIY products. I carry Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint. I carry Sweet Pickins milk paint. I carry Roycycled treasures. I carry Connie lines and designs, and I carry Iron Orchid designs. You can find us on all the socials linked below, as well as our website, which is www.midwestcharm.co. That's linked below, as well as all the products that we used in today's video. Now let's get back to it. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this pink spackle to fill in the holes from the screw, and then I lost some footage. Painted the piece with the cobblestone and the center, and I did decoupage on my paper with the tulips, and I cut out the little square where the little latch was. Here I am doing cowgirl coral on the sides and edges of this cute little box, and then I do go over it with clear wax and dark wax. And the remaining part of the strip with the decoupage has some of the DIY paint in tarnished pearl. And then again, here is a quick little sneak peek of this piece before I sealed it up. For project number 2, I'm taking a wood mailbox that I got in a recent thrift haul, and I'm going to take the spackle, which is linked below and is part of our Amazon affiliates link, and put this and smooth it over the spots that are indented. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. And once it's completely dry, we will get it sanded up. And now that it's dry, we have it sanded. I'm going to wipe it down just a little bit more. And then we are going to go in with Cobblestone and paint that as our base color so that our paper will pop. We're just going to give this one coat of this fusion paint, and it dries really fast, so I don't have any issues getting this project completed in a timely manner. So we're going to do this so that our paper, the colors in it, really stand out and are vibrant. For this project, I am using the Pussy Willow paper, and we are going to mist that with our misting bottle, and then use our DIY liquid patina to put down a generous coat, and then we are going to apply the paper to this and then let it dry. The misting of this paper will help those fibers in it stretch so that as it dries, it pulls nice and tight and there are zero wrinkles in it. And I do go over the top of this with another coat of the liquid patina to seal it up. Then we wait for it to dry. Once it's dry, go in with one of my finger sanders and sand down in a downward motion and get all those edge pieces off. This next step is, I guess, optional. I was planning on painting this piece and wanted to have dark tone to distress to. So I went in with the Dark and Decrepit liquid patina and gave it one coat. And I do go in occasionally and wipe this coat off before it dries to give it a little bit of a lighter feel. I do go and do some of the inside of this box. I do around all the edges and I do the bottom as well. One, this will seal in my wood, making it easier to work with, and two, um, easier to distress down to as well if I decide to paint it. And I am doing the back here, and I will be honest, this piece sat on my workspace during a Zoom call I had, and I'm telling you, I had it there and I had planned on using the tarnished pearl because it matched the little pussy willows so perfectly, and I couldn't do it. I loved it so much like this that I just let it be. I didn't do anything. So I just let this go, and you'll see it at the very end of this video completely finished and styled up. But here's a quick sneak peek. For project number 3, I knew immediately when I saw this paper that I was going to use this blank that I've had sitting around for a while. I got these on clearance from Michael's or Hobby Lobby ages ago. And they've just been sitting in my stash. So I decided to use the Cobblestone by Fusion to paint the back of this. And I'm just going to give it one coat. I had really good coverage. It was raw wood, so it adhered beautifully and covered beautifully as well. And I'm going to let this dry completely before I take out my paper. Now, I'm not sure on the name of the papers. It's either Victorian High Tea or Old Ironstone Chocolate Pots. I think this is the Chocolate Pots one, but I'm not positive. So I took half of that and we're going to use it here. And I am using my finger to measure around the edges and kind of crease where I need to cut the excess off. And then as you can see, I am cutting the excess off. And I am going pretty much right on the line, knowing that I will be misting this paper and it will help it stretch a bit. So I'm not worried at all about it being too big, too small. We can go in with an X-Acto knife. So as long as this is really close to my lines, I'm pretty confident we can get this done neatly. I really love the color of these florals, and I was trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do on this frame, if I was going to leave it as is, if I was going to try to get some of that pink in here to pop, and in the meantime decided let's just move forward and get this sealed down. So using my liquid patina, after I have fitted this piece to my board, I peel back the first part, making sure that my paper is where I need it to be. And then I'm going to use my liquid patina and put a good couple of inches down, making sure that I have plenty in the corner as well. When you are working with a already framed in piece, getting into those corners is really key. We're going to go ahead and mist our paper and then lay that first strip down, and we're going to use our paintbrush to smooth it down nice and smooth. And then we're going to repeat this process for the rest of the piece of this paper all the way down to the very end, misting using our liquid patina and smoothing on each step. As you can see, I use a combination of my hand to help smooth the paper and my brush, and both are good options. There's lots of techniques out there. I just find when you miss this paper, it's pretty easy to work with. And you can see I'm using my brush to get it up nice and close to the sides. And again, here we are repeating the process of putting down our liquid patina, getting it into those corners so we can get this paper to lay flat in them, and then leaving a decent coat on there and smoothing it all out. I'm just using my brush to work it into those edges and to work it into the corners. This piece I hadn't laid flat yet, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. If you see any big bubbles appear as you're doing your final swipe over of your liquid patina, leave them be. They will go away. It will dry flat. You won't have any issues. So just go ahead and put your final coat of liquid patina on it. And then I'm going to let this completely dry, making sure that those edges and corners are especially dry because we will need to use an X-Acto knife to clean up any of our edges. Here is a quick little sneak peek before our next step. I decided this needed a little bit of bling, so I took out my Rub and Buff in Antique Gold, and I'm using a very, very, very teeny tiny tipped little detailed artist brush, and I am swirling my brush in there to keep it nice and pointed, and then going in on the edges where any of the gold was in the actual uh, decoupage paper, and I'm putting kind of like outlining it in that. So I'm just adding little specks of that gold and little lines of that gold here and there just to give it a little bit of glimmer and not just be a flat piece of artwork. And as I'm working around on this piece of paper and doing all these details, I did go in with the Fusion color ash that was in the box, and I did the outside of the frame and the inside of the frame. I did not go over those little rounds. I haven't decided if I need to yet. I haven't decided if this needs something else or if I'm finished with it. Sometimes it's hard to, I look at it, I love it, it's beautiful, and the gold was the perfect accent for this. I just feel like this might need something more. So make sure you guys post below. Let me know, what can I do to add to this? What can I do to improve upon this? Or is this a finished piece? And as always, you guys, make sure to stick to the very, very end of my video so you can see this piece completely finished and styled up alongside the other pieces I finished today. This does have sawtooth hooks on the back so it can hang on the wall. In my final photos, I do just have it as a shelf sitter, and it looks beautiful like that as well. And here I am just going in with a few more of these details, and then we're going to move on to project number 4. For project number 4, I knew I had to use the napkin, y'all. I had just gotten in these little wood tags from my friend Natalie at Sparks of Joy Studio. I am going to go ahead and link her webpage below. These are fabulous. I had already painted one part of them in White Swan, and I was just waiting for the right project. I'm peeling apart this napkin. It's 2-ply. Save that, you guys. Save that backer. I have a really fun project with that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut up this napkin so that I get the exact spot that I want on these little tags. I want to make sure that each one has one of those beautiful, beautiful birds on it. Once I have these ready to go, I lay them out how I want them and where I want that bird to be. And I pull out my liquid patina. I bend back the top half of these and put down a section of the liquid patina. And then I use my brush to smooth it out over that and get out any of the wrinkles. And then I repeat that process for the bottom half where I peel it up. I paint down my liquid patina and then use my brush to smooth out the wrinkles. And we will do this on both of these tags. Once these have dried completely, I'm going to take out my finger sander and in a downward motion, I'm going to sand along the edges. You can see this comes right off in a really smooth line. And I will do this around the whole thing, including the second one. And then I'll use a paintbrush to poke a hole where the tag, where the string would go through the tag in that hole there so that it's nice and smooth as well. The color in this napkin was fabulous. The colors were beautiful and vibrant and bright. And I had a really hard time deciding what color to do, but I knew I really wanted to accentuate that gorgeous bird. So I ended up going through my paint stash and pulling out a couple of the tealy blue colors that I had, and I settled on the new DIY color Walk on Water. And then I went in and painted all the edges, and then I painted the backs of both of these. My camera angle really stinks where I'm showing you me painting on the back of it. I apologize. I was doing too many things at one time. It happens. And but you have the other one down there already completed. Once these are completely dry, I do seal these up with clear wax and a little bit of dark wax. Project number 5, I'm not gonna lie, I struggled a little bit with this paper. I didn't have a lot in my stash. So my hubby and I went picking and we found this board. This was a sign previously that I had to sand back because it was not good and it had glitter, my nemesis, all over it. So I sanded it really, really smooth, and then we're going to go ahead and put one coat of Fusion's Cobblestone on the whole bottom. And then I'm taking these gorgeous, gorgeous teacups with floral, and we are going to apply this to the whole board. And there is my inspo. I picked up this adorable, beautiful teacup and saucer set that I had sitting there while I was working on this piece. So I have the top peeled back. We are going to add our liquid patina. We are going to mist our decoupage paper and then fold it back over and smooth it out with my hand and the paintbrush like I usually do, and then continue this process for the whole length of this board. We use the mister so that those papers stretch, and when they dry smooth with very little wrinkles to them. It is a great method that I have learned from Royce herself, and I share this as often as I can, that is how I get such a smooth finish on my papers. Again, the colors in this were so vibrant and beautiful, and I really wanted to showcase them. And the whole time I'm working on all these projects, I was like, man, every one of these is like the perfect gift for Mother's Day. And I was in the middle of it when I decided I needed something to work on this paper with, when me and my hubby were talking, and he offered to take me thrifting, and I was explaining my vision of having all of my pieces be gifts that you could easily give to your mom, your wife, your aunt, your loved one for Mother's Day. And he's like, well, you know what you could do. And he's the one who helped me come up with this project and help me find the pieces for it. Now, what you don't see me working on in between my dry time here is we found these two little strips of hooks at the same thrift store we found the board, the sign at, that I sanded down, and I painted those. I originally did, I think, tarnished pearl, and it just wasn't quite right. So I went into my paints and pulled out DIY crinoline, and that was much, much better. So I do give those two coats of crinoline. I think you may have seen the hooks in one of my previous projects. It's sitting on top of the paint in the corner. What you see me doing here is just using my paintbrush to smooth out the wrinkles. I gently lift the paper, use the brush to smooth it out and get those wrinkles out. And it also has the liquid patina on it so that it's also sealing it in as well. And I will go over the top of this with one final coat of liquid patina before I move on to my next step. Once this piece has completely dried, we're going to take out one of our finger sanders. Again, these are linked below. They are so perfect for little jobs like this. And in a downward motion, I'm just going to take this 180 grit sandpaper and cut the extra paper off. It just peels right off. Then I'm going to go in with my X-Acto knife. This
sign is actually 3 separate boards, and I'm going to use my X-Acto knife just to score the paper where the boards meet each other. Now there's not much of a gap there, so I'm not able to really sand and get down into it, but I do go over it. You'll see at the very end here how I really help to make those areas pop. Once I have that done, I'm going to take one of my finger sanders, go along the lines of those boards, go along the edges. When I sanded this down, the corners and edges were really sharp, so I smoothed all those out. I really just stressed and wore down those corners, and I wanted to accentuate that on here, and then accentuated where I went over with my Sharpie as well, and then just kind of went over and just stressed the whole piece to give it some aged, worn look. Here are those hooks, and I am currently measuring 2 inches over and 2 inches up to get these placed just right. I do have 2 sets of these, and again, these were painted in DIY's crinoline. And I am measuring here as well, 2 inches over and 2 inches up. And then I'm going to take my drill holes, little pilot holes, and then take screws and screw these in and use some of the Dark and Decrepit liquid patina to age the hooks up. Stick around for the final shots of all of our projects today.
So what did you think? Did I do good? They would all, I think, perfect gifts for Mother's Day. The tags you could put on any gift or even on a bouquet of flowers. The box, I envision that box opened with some faux tulips in it. I think it would be gorgeous. I'm trying to find some of the exact color of Connie's paper. I think it'd be fabulous. I love how the little sign turned out, how the little box turned out for the Pussy Willow paper. But you guys, the teacup holder, the little mini tea station, I'm looking at it. I love it. I really do. I think it turned out really pretty. I really do. I think it'll be a very fast seller in my booth, and I can't wait to get it in there. Please like, subscribe, share, all the things. Let me know what your favorite project was, if there's anything you would have done different. And we'll see you guys all next week. Bye.